Hey YouTube, coming at you with a member, Joey Lark, who submitted team First of all, thank you for the membership. Thank you for the support. Gastrodon, Shadow Marowak, toxapex. Had a hard time finding a team that works for Color Cup the first couple days, dropped to 2200. This team, wow, made this team, and Shiny Shadow Marowak is a beast. Usually save shields for him and would clean up. Gastro usually has good leads and did solid, and toxapex just absorbed everything. Love the feedback. Excuse some misplays as I was holding a baby for one set and trying to put the boys to bed. Went 17 with the team so far and climbed up to 2400. So, okay, been there. Yeah, so I was gonna say Gastrodon weak to grass, but then you have a fire and poison. Ground is tough, right? Because you're double weak to ground in the back. And at best, you have a neutral matchup with Gastrodon. So ground in general is going to be a bit of a problem for this team. But let's take a look at the battles and see how it plays out. Okay, Typhlosion is a great lead, so they'll probably get out into something. That something is a superior. So instant swap into Marowak, just absolutely killing them here. And still getting to the Shadow Bone quickly. The shadow damage really adding up here. And Shadow Bone, yeah, potentially just one-shotting there. So they get in with their Typhlosion, but just going to get outpaced with this Bone Club, which is super effective. So this will grab a shield. At this point, you could probably just let this go because you have alignment on the front end and shield advantage. So pretty good scenario to be in here. Live the move, get to a Bone Club, and your opponent stupidly double shields. Like, what are they doing? It's not a you, my man. It's a what are they doing? You lost the lead so hard, and you're double shielding your lead Pokemon. And they finally get into Cordelia. Like, Cordelia had to sweep here. There was no option, and they double shielded. So this is not okay. I'm guessing that's one of the misplays, because instead of throwing a neutral Earth Power into a Rock Grass, you threw a resisted Body Slam. So we'll just let that go, saying you're holding a kid and or putting the kids to bed. You don't need to shield, but you're going to be shielding toxapex as your win con here. Getting to the Sludge Wave, this will be enough to take out. I was about to say, you know what? Non-Shadow Cordelia is actually very tanky. Typhlosion is still alive apparently, so going to shield that up. And again, throwing a resisted Body Slam. I don't think they have much health left, so I don't think it matters too much. And now your opponent either quit or, yeah. So resisted enough to take them out there. It was pretty easy alignment on that one. And speak about good alignment. Good lead against a fire. They'll probably get out into something. That something is a Abomasnow. Oof. Abomasnow is not a safe swap in a meta when there's only 4 typings and one of them is fire. So take any move. It is an icy win. Does lower your attack, but just an easy farm down. And it's, again, at best a mirror match. Your attack is lowered, but you're so far ahead on energy. Both moves are super effective. Clearly Bone Club with the lowered attack, not going to be enough to double take this out here. Like, to throw 2 moves and take it out, but they do shield 1. Again, there's no point of... Maybe they're double weak to fire in the back, but at this point you take the shield advantage and switch, and they are double weak to fire, but you have a poison, which is just as good. So this is basically a top left for them, because this is pretty hard countered. Okay, 2 matchups, 2 very, very easy alignments here. My guess is if they're trying to win, they're going to shield this, and then they're going to try and burn the switch clock by throwing a move, and then they're going to try and catch. Because that's like the only potential win con here. And it's not even a win con, it's just like trying to do the best they can. Like, they're going to try and catch here. And they know they can't, so they're still burning the clock. Maybe 1 and try and catch, or just an instant catch here. Yeah, 1 fairy win and trying to catch, and you just anticipated it. Because you know that's basically their only chance, is to burn the clock and try and catch. You actually went first, so maybe just, I don't know if that you were trying to snipe or just truly anticipating that move. But no problem with that matchup for sure. Okay, good editing on my end there. Okay, first neutral matchup, Kingdra. Get out into a Ferrothorn. Again, double weak to fire. Not a good safe swap. What are they doing? Unless they're like double, again, unless it's an Abomasnow in the back. Ferrothorn, Abomasnow, and you draw this out, and then your Kingdra as a Water Dragon beats this, and then like there's an Abomasnow in the back. Otherwise, please don't use Ferrothorn as a safe swap. Kingdra does come in, but this Shadow Bone's going to hurt. Shadow Marowak on a Shadow Kingdra, yeah, so they do shield. You're still going to get to another one. So this will chip a bunch, and then we'll see what's in the back. But if it's, again, they double shield. Well, I mean, they could get ahead on energy here. I would still come Gastrodon. They're going to get ahead on energy, try and Octazooka to lower your attack, and then just out Dragon Breath you, hopefully lower your attack. And they do not get it, which either do I when I run this thing. I finally found a team. I'll probably drop it in the, if I haven't already, I'll drop it in the group members chaps. And it is a toxapex in the back. So not even a Ferrothorn toxapex and you safe swap Ferrothorn? Okay. Emolga. Weird one. You know, Mud Slaps are single resisted. Body Slams are neutral. Thundershocks are single resisted. And then the flying move, whatever it is, Aerial Ace, is neutral. Or Acrobatics. Much harder hitting. So now you're in discharge range. Again, the only problem with this play is that you do leave yourself vulnerable to double ground in the back. But Credilli is the option here. Could be trying to draw, like, Credilli is a pretty safe swap because you, like, again, you see grass and then you think fire, but they're also rock, so it's not actually a straightforward matchup. And they've already grabbed one of your shields, and here comes the second one. So going to shield up these rock slides, try and farm down here. Do get the farm down. They're going to come back in and just straight fire spin down. And it is a Turtonator in the back. Yeah, Credilli is just, I guess, a safe swap on this. Yeah, Credilli, I guess, would just be a safe swap. Ooh, bad timing there. You did 2 fire spins, which is 6, and versus 2 incinerates, which is 10. So to minimize the energy, you should be doing 3 fire spins for 9 versus their 2 incinerates. They do land a Dragon Pulse on Toxapex, but very bulky, so we just tank it. Again, probably tank another one, which is good because you have no shields. Gonna have to commit to the Poison Jab down. No, what do you... They have a shield. Yeah, at this point you just Poison Jab down. Unless you have a move on your Marowak, then that's correct. Then you throw the move in, so you have a move left on your Marowak. But that was pretty much Poison Jab range. For Alligator, Shadow, Hydro Cannons obviously chip a ton, so going to shield that up and respect it. They do shield back, and they are loaded with energy, so this might grab a shield because they probably want to get a Hydro off on you here. And I'm guessing here is where it's coming. So this probably does take you out from this range. Yeah, goodbye. And then just absorb it on Toxapex. That makes sense. And then probably just try and one shield Marowak like you said that you normally do. So take that out. Here comes the ground, and here comes your double weakness to ground. And they, I think, very smartly farmed a ton, and before you got a move off, are now going to absorb it on their Toxapex. So I think that's a really heads up play by your opponent, kind of recognizing that you are double weak to ground, really bad here. I'm going to chip a ton with the Mud Slaps, and then I'm going to just absorb all your damage on my Toxapex. So you let it go. I guess basically just going to commit to the farm down, so you come out with multiple moves here. Not really worried about the Sludge Wave or the Brine. Saving a shield. You don't want to go too low because then you're just in Mud Slap Body Slam range, maybe even just Mud Slap range. So here's the first brine, not even close. And now you're basically just in Mud Slap range because you're not going to get to a third brine. Yeah, so this is the only problem with, like, if you're going to run a team double weak to ground, you kind of need to draw it out. But it's not like a true ABB team because you can draw out like a water with Marowak. You're most likely or an electric with Toxapex. So these types of teams are tricky. You either do what you did. You like just assume that if there's a ground in the back, you're probably going to lose the matchup, or you try and force a ground out, but you may not force a ground out with the team. So just be aware if you're going to run a team like this, that's the sort of flaw of it. Do take out Kingdra and the one shield, and there's a Ferrothorn. Can we get to a move? Big move? No, we can only get to the resisted body slam. So this is not going to do anything. But definitely wanted to keep alignment. So yeah, it's 100% you just stay in that Gastrodon matchup because you want this alignment with your Marowak, and they come in Dugong. Just going to chip with Bone Club, assuming they won't shield, and maybe then just come in Poison Jab the rest of it. Yeah, so just going to chip it to the basically just above the yellow, and then just have Toxapex just come and absorb these drill runs and just try and Poison Jab as much as you can. Honestly, you can even just go Brine at this point. You can maybe fake it, but at this point the Poison Jabs and Brines would add up enough to take this out. Just going to go straight Sludge Wave. Yeah, grab the shield to take this out. And they bank it because you were, you played out the Marowak a bit there. So do get to Sludge Wave. It will be single resisted because Steel double resists. But that does chip, and then, aware that it was coming. And got the Power Whip off. Not enough to take you out. Now, the moves are resisted here. This is an easy Icy Wind bait because you have no choice but to shield this. But you should be able to outpace to the Brine. Yeah, so a little closer than you probably wanted that to be. But still take the matchup. Talonflame. Again, a weird one. Mud Slap and Incinerate are resisted. And then you got a non-stab crappy Body Slam against what could be a really hard-hitting Brave Bird or decent Fly. So that Body Slam does not do much. Again, it's tough to time. They should have probably done one more Incinerate, but there is your Brave Bird. Now, they lowered their defense enough that this will take out, so they may shield. Yeah, because they can Incinerate. Oh, and they snipe with Omastar. And it is a Rock Throw user. And it is a rock user at that. And oh, what a spice killer for you. Fire Spin. Resisted on the water. Poison resisted on the rock. Fire and Rock Throw super effective on Marowak. So just kind of have to stay in this matchup. At least that's neutral. Man, this is doing... Do you want to take a couple Rock Throws on your Marowak is the question here, and the answer is no. And then you both instant swap. They're going to get to a move here, so you kind of have to respect it and then hope you can Fire Spin down. Oh, they Brave Bird, so you can definitely Fire Spin down. Come out with energy. Now, do you just try and commit to the Fire Spin on Omastar if it comes back in? No, going for the move here. I don't know if that's the play. I think you just... I don't know why they shielded. Well, they have a Shadow Vic in the back, so that's why they shielded. But I don't know if that's the play from your opponent. But they're kind of in a weird situation there. Okay, great lead into the Talonflame. Why are you staying in this matchup at all? No, you're doing the worst scenario of both. Well, it's not the worst because that's on a water as well. Never mind. They do Brave Bird you, but now you let them get so much energy that they're going to have another move. Yeah, I don't like staying in there with that Gastrodon to get energy. I think you should have just come Toxapex right away. And going to throw the Brine, but if they want to flip switch, they can now. And that is exactly what they're going to do. Because you wasted way too long with a gastrodon there. And they get another move off too. So now you just lost switch and you're going to lose the shield here. Kenmod slap down. And you have a ton of energy, and it's an Azumarill, so talk about just absorbing that damage here. Earth Power does... Oh, and you get the defense fall, so that is huge with these Mud Slaps and Earth Power combo here. Because this is really going to add up from a Gastrodon here. Yeah, so that takes it down. And going to call the you do not have a Hydro Ice Beam Play Rough. Oh! Joke's on you. They do. But I forgot, but the lead was Stunfisk. So just getting back into this matchup here and just going to try and Body Slam and Mud Slap your way through. You'll live one move, but they'll probably get to another one here. Are you just going to commit to the farm down for both? Because I don't think there's a reason to throw a move. Now you can probably go back-to-back Body Slam. Yeah. One and you got the one turn deny there, which means they did not get a bubble through. I mean, they just threw Hydro Pump, so it's not like they're going to get to a move anyways, but back-to-back is easy. Take that out. Okay, great lead on Marowak. They will get out into something. That something is... Ooh, they are staying against the Gastrodon. They do get to a Shadow Bone. And Shadow Bone is from a Shadow Wood chip. It won't take you out, but it'll chip a good amount. So they don't need to. Can you take it out here? Nope. They're going to get to a Bone Club, so now you have to shield. So Marowak in a terrible matchup taking a shield from you. You do have a ton of energy, but they are just going to absorb every single ounce of it on this Pokemon here. Now, I don't like this. Here, I think you're misplaying this a lot. It may not affect the end game, but here's why you're misplaying this. They stayed in with a Marowak into your Gastrodon, which tells me, once I see the jump off here in the mid game, that they're probably like ABA. I don't want to do a huge analysis and I'll be wrong, but this is my read. They're probably ABA weak to ground. So they stayed in Marowak, did take a shield from you, so good on them. But then they came in with a grass Pokemon, for which you have two answers for. So you committed the shield and Gastrodon to have basically 100 energy just to waste it all on Jumpluff when you have two answers in the back. So you should be, doesn't really matter which one you come in with, Toxapex or Marowak. You should have banked all that Gastrodon energy and then come into the Marowak or Toxapex. Where as opposed to just like throwing these non-stab Body Slams, which doesn't even get it to 50%, letting them, now you're going to get to over 50 because they're just going to farm to 100 energy. Not that 100 energy matters a ton on Marowak, but you know what? They still have a shield advantage. Acrobatics would hurt on Marowak, so they could Acrobatics and Bail potentially. Okay, so yeah, absorbing it on Toxapex because, yeah, so just Energy Ball. And it is Greninja, so not ABA, kind of a weird one, Greninja. But now that with 2 to 1 shield advantage, they're probably going to start shielding anything here though. These Night Slashers are going to come pretty fast here. Toxapex is bulky enough, but Marowak's going to have problems in the back if you do not chip this or take this out. So going just straight for another Brine, hoping that the Poison Jab Brine is enough to just combo this thing, and you do grab a second shield. But here comes another Night Slash. What do, right? Do you let this go and then have to try and Fire Spin down and shield a move? Yep, so that's what we're going to try and do here. Here comes another move. You have to shield it, and you got to hope that you can... If they're dry, you probably could Fire Spin down to... Nope, they're going to get to a move and you just lost. So you 1,000,000% lost this matchup when you dump that Gastrodon energy. That's an easy swap into either or. Even if you went in Marowak and got hit with the Greninja, that's fine, because then what would have happened is your Marowak would have lost. You would have chipped with the Bone Club because you would have been in quick. But you would have chipped with the Bone Club. Gastrodon could have come back in with a ton of energy to take out the Greninja, and then you would have Toxapex on Jumpluff, and you would have easily won that matchup. But instead, you dumped your energy, you let them keep the shield advantage, and then you let a Greninja just sweep your team. So yeah, next time you have 2 answers in the back, and just make that switch. Golisopod, which seems pretty safe in this meta too, just very spammy. Going to the Sludge Wave. If they shield, they could probably get a couple more moves off here. Let's see what they decide to do. They do shield, so they will have at least a couple moves here. If it's Aerial Ace Liquidation, you'll live another Aerial Ace, so they'll have to throw one more. But they can. Yeah, they can. I assume you'll just... I was going to say, assume you'll just take the shield advantage, but you are not taking the shield advantage. You're going to try and take the switch advantage, which again is very risky if you're double weak to ground in the back. Oh, sorry, you're already in with Toxapex. No, what am I talking about? You are already in with Toxapex. They're trying to Fairy Wind down. Now you can align with your Marowak. Both shadows, but I'm assuming Aerial Ace, and it won't hurt too much, but another one here would add up, and they have their own Marowak. So trying to bait here. Again, this is very double resisted, so if this is not shielded, this is not going to do anything. But do grab the shield, which is actually huge. You could probably live a Shadow Bone, barely, and it's just a Bone Club. Getting to the Earth Power, this will take out, and then your Marowak will align on the back end here. Yeah, so I think that was just your biggest thing in the last matchup. You misplayed that. Otherwise, not a few things here and there. No, yeah, just get in and Fire Spin. Whenever your opponent legs out like this, you do not want to throw a move, because then you can leg out. So you just want to come back in. Oops, sorry. So you just want to come back in and fast move down, even if it's resisted fast moves. Okay, so that is it. Thanks for the submission. Let me see what we have here for members versus non-members. I think we got a lot of non-members. Non-member. Okay, a bunch of non-members, which is fine. If I don't have any member videos left, I will move to the non-members. So we'll do some subscriber videos coming up here. I'm gonna try around with a team. Like I said, I'll probably drop that team. I am now in 4 sets with that team. I am 15-5 with the team so far. So if I do one more good set, I'll drop it on the members only chat on Discord. So that is it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.